What's up everyone? I really wanted to get more people involved in the 5 of a kind community, so I was thinking, what is the easiest 5 of a kind to get in Super Auto Pets? Is it the bison? Is it the crocodile? So I was wondering, and I finally came to the conclusion that the squirrel is the easiest 5 of a kind to get. So in this video I'll be showcasing 2 5 of a kind squirrel runs that I did manage to get, and hopefully I can inspire at least one of you to try this for themselves. I think it's very fun if you manage to pull it off, and yeah, hopefully it gives you a sense of accomplishment and it gets you involved in the 5 of a kind community and you can even start doing some harder 5 of a kinds. For now this is just going to be a strategy showcase. I'll show you what I like to do with 5 of a kind squirrels. Most of the time the strategy is to preserve lives early in order to be able to pivot safely. This time you can see that I failed to do that. By turn 8 I only have 1 heart, and this run, even despite that, results in a victory, which I think is very funny. You'll see how hard fought this is, but if you can play this better than I did during this run, it will be a breeze for you to get a 5 of a kind squirrel. So what you need to execute this combo is obviously as many squirrels as possible. Secondly, you need a seal, but only 1 seal is all that's required. Like you can find more and it can be beneficial for you, but if you have the third item that you need for this combo, which is a chocolate, I don't think you need as many seals as you may think. Because the squirrels are going to be providing you with so many foods, it's going to be very likely that you find the chocolate in the shop, and that way you can level up the seal while at the same time providing buffs for your team. So the seal, not always a good purchase if it's the second one and higher, but if you need it that desperately, I suggest that you do buy it if you're not being lucky with chocolates. You can see in this run I was kind of lucky with chocolates. I get 2 on this row, and getting the seal to level 2 is obviously very good because it's twice as good as it usually is. But you can make do even with a level 1 seal for a while if you don't find too many chocolates. But like if you have 4 squirrels on your team, the chances of you not finding at least 2 chocolates is very low, so if you do that and you don't find the chocolate, sorry, it's just not your day, but you can always try again and hopefully get a better run as a result. At this point I don't really have much to say. I'm starting to win my games, and this was probably the worst possible performance that I could have had. I didn't preserve almost any lives, I only had 2 and I lost one of them in the transition, so yeah, I'm not allowed to lose anymore. Thankfully though, the team is going to become so strong that I don't think I'm going to be losing anymore. Not even drawing, I don't believe. It's all going to be wins from here on out, which kind of crazy to think about. How this seemingly memey team is so strong that it can compete with top tier meta builds. And the other good thing about the seal squirrel combo is that because you have so many squirrels, you're seeing so many foods, and that means you're going to be seeing a lot of equipment items on the team, which you're going to be using. Of course, you want as many steaks as possible, as many melons as possible. For the seal it doesn't really matter because it's going to be changing health foods all the time, but for the squirrels it's crucially important for them to have some good health foods. Sadly at this point I only have a meat bone and a melon, a steak and a melon. The rest are meat bones, which isn't the best, but that's going to be rectified shortly, I believe. I don't really have much to say. It's just me buffing up the seal, giving it as many foods as I can. Sadly, when the seal is level 3 it can't eat chocolates anymore, so you can use it as an apple for one of the squirrels that you have. I decided to give it to the squirrel with the melon because obviously I think that the squirrel with the melon is going to be capable of using the better stat line the best. Even though it's simpler, +1/+1, so it's not as important as you may think. But you know, if you're going to be using as many foods as possible, why not min-max to the highest extent? I guess the thing that I did forget to mention is that if you're going to have multiple health foods in the shop and you want the seal to have the best possible health food, you give it to it last, obviously. That's a reason that you should be looking out for the foods that you find in the shop initially. Like, don't give it to the seal in order, try to find the best order to give the seal the foods. And yeah, other than that, I don't have much to say. I think I've said that for the third time this video, but it's really all that brainless. The team is already at 50-50 apart from the seal, but that's no big deal because the seal is going to be losing its place on the team when I find the fifth squirrel, which I don't think for this run is going to be very soon, but yeah, it's just destined to happen. Like, the team is already at 50-50, so I don't even think it's necessary for the seal to consume any more foods. Like, it can be as it is and I can just roll to find more squirrels. Another advantage of this team that I just thought of is like, if you find the slot, you can just sell the seal and you have 4 50-50 units with melon or steak, so they can carry you, and the slot in the backline you can just hope that you get 5 chocolates with the squirrels, which is kind of likely to happen when you have 4 of them. So you're seeing 4 more foods than usual, and they're all discounted to 0 gold, most of them at least. So yeah, that's a nice side bonus if you end up deciding to run this team. Here I'm just preparing freezing a steak for the last squirrel when it eventually comes on the team. Sadly I'm not finding it yet, but I guess that may be a blessing in disguise because I would just be forced to use the good stat line of the seal for now. You can see it endured all of the snipes, so the second to last, I mean squirrel, didn't end up getting rid of its melon. So yeah, the run is coming to its end, the first one at least. I'll be showcasing another one after this. But for now I'm just going to roll, hopefully find the squirrel ASAP. The good thing is that I only have 4 squirrels on the team, so even if I do find the squirrel on this turn I can just freeze it and I can safely hope that it won't be deleted by the squirrel's ability because it only triggers 4 times. So the leftmost unit that you would have ended up frozen wouldn't be gone, so yeah, you can just take it if you find it. Sadly I don't end up finding it. I was thinking about maybe using some of the foods here, but there's literally no point in me doing that. All the squirrels are 50-50. It's only if I want to get the seal buffed up, but I don't really want to do that because it's going to be replaced by a squirrel on this turn. And I'm looking for it, I'm really looking for it, and on the last roll I find it, thankfully. I wasn't really sweating it because I already have the 5 of a kind squirrel both in the turtle pack and the puppy pack, but it's fun to get it regardless. This last turn was kind of close because they had units with good abilities, but stats beat out such teams, sadly for them. Here is the second run. On both turns I end up getting the seal on turn 7, but in my opinion that's not at all required. It just happened so that I managed to get the seal like that, but if you find it on turn 9 it's not fatal. The most important thing is for you to have as many squirrels on the team by turn 9. Thankfully I had found one on turn 5 with this team, and on turn 7 I find another one, so I will be selling one of my units. And this pack is a lot stronger than the turtle pack in my opinion. A lot better scaling options. And a lot of weakness as well, so if you manage to put melon and steak on your squirrels, it may just get overwritten by the weakness, which isn't good, but even in this pack it can work out very nicely, this combo. So yeah, I'm going into turn 9 with 2 squirrels, which is very good because most likely I'll be finding chocolate and getting the seal leveled up ASAP, hopefully on this turn. Kind of unfortunate that one of the seals got overwritten by a food. I would have gladly bought it because I got no chocolates in the foods that the squirrels gave me, but that's not a big deal because thankfully I did manage to get a chocolate right after. And all that's left for me to do is find the rest of the squirrels. The combo is basically set and I even have 4 lives. I did manage to preserve more lives this time, so yeah, I did my job well this time, so I can reap the rewards of this fun team. Thankfully even 2 more chocolates, which means the seal is going to be nearly level 3. And this is a very fun composition that you can run like this. Just a seal and 2 squirrels, but obviously the more the merrier, so I'm rolling for more squirrels. I'm even forsaking some of the foods. I should be freezing the sushi. I made a misplay by not freezing the sushi last time, but thankfully I do rectify my mistake by freezing a sushi this time. And now that I have 3 squirrels on my team, it's going to be even nicer because I get 1 more discounted food. And thankfully, because it's turn 11, now I'm starting to find more equipment. I was thinking about getting the sauropod in. With squirrel it's a very strong combo, but I just decided to focus on the squirrels for this video. If you're doing this on puppy pack or a weekly pack with sauropod in, you can definitely bring it in, but I was just like, this is a squirrel video, I shouldn't bring in any other units. So yeah, like the last round, I don't have much to say basically. Everything is already set up. You can see I'm getting far in front of the competition, and all that's left for me to do is get the last 2 squirrels. I have 3 turns to do so, so I'm not really sweating it. In the meantime, I'm just buffing as best as I can. And thankfully I did manage to find the 4th one on this final roll, so I can bring it into the team. So for the next 2 turns that I'll have, because this is definitely going to be a win, at least from what I can remember, kind of close, because they have weakness and a strong unit of themselves, but thankfully I didn't end up winning despite that. And now that I'm getting 2 melons for my team as well, this is not going to be close at all. So now I just have 2 turns to find the final squirrel. Thankfully I can focus on the free foods because they're not costing me any rolls, so I can just improve my team at basically no cost. Sadly I didn't find the squirrel on this turn, but I think maybe I should be winning here. Kind of suspicious too this round because of the weakness. They also had a bison, which kind of scummy, but this team could be considered scummy too, I guess. Thankfully I did end up winning, so now the final thing is hoping to get the last squirrel. And yeah, this is going to be the end of the video, I think, or at least nearing the end of the video. So I hope that I did convince at least 1 person to try this combo, and hopefully not abuse it too much, because I don't believe it's going to be highly appreciated by the community, having so insanely high stats. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you find this useful, and if you did, I hope you liked the video, I hope you subscribed, maybe leave a nice comment. I love reading all of the comments. So yeah, like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I'll see you next time. Take care.